Good morning, students. Let us continue our studies. I hope you all are enjoying at home with all other subjects, studying, working hard day and night. And I hope you might have also gone through your chapter 1 of your history. And I remember I had given you two exercises to be done, filling the blanks and the true and false. So I hope you might have done it. If you have not done it, please go through your lofty homework. In that I have already uploaded this the whole chapter and then the homework, little homework for you. So please open it and then check it. And then I want you to complete that homework. Okay. So here today we begin our second chapter. The name of the chapter is Growth of Nationalism. So the name of the chapter is already I said the growth of nationalism. So let us read the first paragraph. Let us begin. What are the growths of the nations and how it is called, why it is called the growth of nationalism? Okay. In the middle of the 18th century, European countries were under the monarchical system. Now, what is this monarchical system means? Like for example, one king is ruling just now over a kingdom, and after his death, a second king is coming up to rule over. So that generation is going on in ruling. So may not be the king, but the queen also can be. But the ruling party is continuation is going on. So there is no stop. So after a king's death, the second king takes over it, in which the king was the ultimate authority. Now, in monarchical system, in which the king is the ultimate authority. That you have to remember always. In the middle of the 18th century, European countries were under the monarchical system. Means one king rules. When he goes away, the second king comes up for the ruling, in which the king was the ultimate authority. Kingdoms were spread over vast territories. Now, vast territories means the regions, maybe the provinces, and small groups inhabited by the people of different ethnic groups. Now, what is the meaning of ethnic groups? Means a community or population made up of people who share a common cultural background, not an individual person, but the group of people. Okay. In most cases, kings were foreigners to the people. Why do we say that? In most cases the kings were foreigners to the people who felt no loyalty towards them? Okay. The feudal lords. Now, what is the meaning of feudal lords here? Is the master, you can call, or overlord, or in simple way you can say that a person who has general authority over others. Okay. A person who has general authority over others, that is meaning feudal lords who controlled. Now this meaning is explained here. The feudal lords who controlled small areas within the kingdom. Okay. Now, as I said to you, the meaning of it, feudal lords means a person who has general authority, okay, over others. Now, who controlled small areas within the kingdoms were like minor king means small kings, not so big kings, known as in their own areas. Now these kings has their privilege of acting over the people in their own areas. They framed their own laws and implemented them according to their own. Now they made their own laws, their own rules, regulations, and started putting on, acting on people whom they were ruling, whom they could control, as I already told, who controlled the small areas, as they were controlling the small areas around. Thus, a kingdom was now, thus, a kingdom was divided in a large number of feudal state. Feudal state means there was in olden time that the person who serves the king, the king will give back to that person a piece of land in return, because he has served the king, especially during the war time. So now what happens here? Now the kingdom is divided into the large number of the feudal states. Means it is divided into the small groups of land, and then it is given for the ruling. Now what happens? Now each governed by a separate setup. Now each um, piece of land was governed by the set of laws. Now, there were also a large number of customs duties to be paid within a kingdom of various points. Now, there were large number of custom duties to be paid within the kingdom of various points. Now, this what happens after the duties? This was economically harmful. Okay, it became harmful and affected the smooth running of trade. The rich merchant means a person whose job is to buy and sells good. Usually they buy a one particular type of things, material in a large amount. Okay, now this is the simple meaning. Merchant means, you will be knowing, the person who sells and buys the material in large amount. Now after this, what happened? Now the rich merchant class now demanded, okay, now the rich merchant class now demanding the removal of such barriers and wanted the establishment of a nation state in a uniform set of laws. Nation states emerged with a homogeneous population living in a common territory, sharing. Now they want to live in a common territory, sharing a historical and cultural background, having a common aspiration, began to consider themselves as one people. Now they want to have the common territory, they want to live in a common territory, sharing historical and cultural background and having common aspiration, began to consider themselves. Now they have started considering themselves as one people. Now this feeling of oneness was fired by a new spirit. Now this feeling of oneness, that they are one, uh, developed a new feeling of patriotism, spirit of patriotism, of owing loyalty not to the king. Okay, now they don't want to be loyal to the king but to the country which they belonged as citizens. Okay, within that territory. Now they don't want to be loyal to the king but they want to be loyal to the country to which they belong, within that territory where they are living right now. This new trend in political philosophy led to the growth of nationalism and resulted in the birth of nation state. France and England were among the first nation states. Okay, remember those two names. France, France and England were among the first nation states. Now, what is nationalism? Already we studied that these people didn't want to have any loyalty towards a king, but they had the feeling of oneness, and this oneness feeling fired a new spirit of patriotism, and they wanted to be faithful, to be loyal to the country which they belonged within that small territory where they were living. Now, what is the nationalism? The small definition is given here. Nationalism is a sense of oneness. Again, I am reminding, the spirit of oneness born out of, from where it comes, the same geographical territory, the same culture and history, and similar aspirations to be independent of foreign dominations. In some countries of Europe, okay, dear student, now we will see, in some countries of Europe, progressive kings, now those kings are progressing in their um, kingdom, now encouraging the feeling of nationalism and one. Now suppose somebody encourages you for something doing good, so you feel very happiness and you have that feeling, ah, yes, I want to do it more good, I should be better and better again, because you have got the encouragement. So you have got a support from backside. Now these people have got the encouragement from the progressive kings. Okay, now the feeling of nationalism and the feeling, encourage the feeling of, what they are encouraging, to have the feelings of nationalism and won the loyalty of the people. Okay, now the kings learn to share. Now the kings are not very selfish. Now the kings have learned to share their power with the representatives of the people. Now such governments were called, what they were called? Now these governments are called as the constitutional monarchies. Now what is a constitutional monarchy? Maybe some rules are written or unwritten. Now this constitutional monarchy had come into existence in England as early as in the year, in which year it came into existence in England? 1688. Now in 18th century there are many philosophers um, who wanted to bring many ideas, many through their writings, for the individuals and for the rights against injustice and the right of the political independence. Okay, Now, in which century the philosophers came up with their new democratic ideas? Now, they came in 18th century. So, few names please learn for your knowledge. In 18th century, philosophers like John Locke, Thomas Jefferson, and Thomas Paine. And there are many philosophers here: John Locke, Voltaire, and Rousseau, Montesquieu, and Thomas Jefferson and Thomas Paine began to spread democratic ideas through their writings. They are not trying to spread their ideas coming and speaking in front of the people, but they want to spread their democratic ideas through their writing. Because when you write and give, it remains for a long time. Otherwise, you give verbally, they listen and then they forget. If you write and keep, then it is a proof for you that yes, this had been given or handed over to you. Now, what did they write? Now we shall see what did they write. Now they wanted to spread the democratic ideas through their writings. Now we have to see what did they write. Now they wrote about individual freedoms, their rights against injustice, and the right of political independence. Now, these 3 points you have to specially remember. The philosophers, those who came, they wanted to spread the democratic ideas through their writings, and they wrote. What did they write? The first one is about the individual freedom. Okay. The second one is their rights against injustice, and the third one is right to political independence. Now these ideas anyway, these ideas were ideas found expression in political development in America and France in late 18th century. Now we have to study, now we shall learn about some of these developments. Now after these ideas, what were the developments came up? Okay, now we shall study. Now the first one is American Revolution, that was in the year from 1775 to 83. Now this American Revolution can be called in another way the War of American Independence. Okay, the War of American Independence led to the birth of the United, which led to the birth of the United States of America. In the short form, you can call USA. Okay, in the history of the world, now in the year of history in many years, this is the first time the political revolution in which people overthrew foreign rules and won the right of self-government. Now they didn't wanted any foreign rules; they wanted their own self-government of rights. Okay. Now when we study anything, there is always a background of it. Okay. The present history we don't learn; we also learn the background history, why it happened, and why the situation has taken place in this way, what were the situation, what were the problems, what were the failures, what were the success. Now we shall study the background. Okay, the large number of Europeans, including French, okay, the Dutch, the Spaniards, and the English had migrated to the New World. What is that New World called? The Americas. After this discovery, okay, by the 18th century, Britain had established 13 colonies, 13 colonies along the eastern coast of North America. Now, what are these 13 colonies? Means also it is also known as the 13 British colonies. Okay, these 13 colonies also is known as the 13 British colonies. In respect of local matters, the colonies settlers governed themselves through elected representatives. They even levied local taxes. They were, however, denied any say in matters concerning their trade with the other European countries, economic development, laying of extra taxes, and even eastward expansion. British controlled these matters strictly. Okay, now British is able to control every situation happening here. Okay, now what happens? Increasing the taxes in the colonies. Which colonies? I just now I explained to you the 13 colonies, which is also known as the 13 British colonies. Now increase the taxes in the colony. In Europe, the 7 Years' War. Okay, how many years war was there? 7 Years' War, 1756 to 63, in which Britain and France were on opposite sides, entered with the Treaty of Paris. Now, what is the Treaty of Paris here? the Treaty of Paris in 1763 means France and Britain and Spain that ended their involvement in the 7 years of war. Okay, I already explained just now. Ended with the Treaty of Paris means France and Britain and Spain ending their involvement in the 7 years of war. Now, this treaty forced France to withdraw from the North America and India. Now, this treaty uh, the involvement of the 7 years of war is withdrawing, forcing France to withdraw from North America and India. Now, Britain sought to recover its war and expense by increasing the tax in North American colonies. Now, in 1765, Britain passed the Stamp Act. Okay, in which year? 1765. Who is passing the Stamp Act? Britain, which increased duties on the legal and commercial transaction, and the colonists demanded representation in the British Parliament before any tax could be imposed on them. Okay. Now they coined the slogan, "No taxation without representation." They coined the slogan. Now violent uprising by now when the people saw that this slogan has come up, the violent uprising of the colony forced Britain to, now the people came up with a lot of violent, and then they became very violent. They didn't wanted this slogan to be carried out, so they have to withdraw the by the colonists forced Britain to withdraw the Stamp Act. In 1767, Britain imposed new. After this, again Britain is imposing new taxes on consumer goods. He wants to impose the taxes. That is his main point. Now, on what he is going to impose the taxes goods on consumers like tea, copper, glass, paint, which were imported into the colonies. Now, these things, goods were imported into the colonies. So, he wanted to put the tax on that. The colonists rose again, again they became rebellion, and once again the all taxes were withdrawn except the one on tea which they had. Okay, others withdrew, only the tea tax was remaining. In 1773, the colonists refused to unload. In 1773, now colonists refused to unload the tea brought by British ships. At Boston, when the governor ordered 3 ships to be unloaded, a group of colonists discussed as American Indians boarded the ships and threw the crates of tea into the sea. Now, this they didn't wanted to accept it. So, what did the at the Boston when the governor ordered the 3 ships to be unloaded? Okay, now they threw all the crates of the tea into the sea. Now, this incident, throwing the tea crates in the sea from the ships. So, this incident was known as the Boston Tea Party. Okay. Now, Declaration of Independence. In 1774, the representatives of the colonists met and appealed. Now, the representatives of the colonists have come and met the king and appealing to the King of England to redress their grievances. However, in April 1775, fighting broke out between British troops and the colonists. Now, the George Washington was appointed the commander of the American forces. In August 1775, Britain declared a state of rebellion in America. On 4th July 1776, at a Congress meeting there was a meeting called at, the meeting was held in Philadelphia. Now, this meeting was held in Philadelphia. The settlers of the 13 colonies adopted the Declaration of Independence, which were written by Thomas Jefferson. Now, this declaration, USA justice under the law. Now, what was the declaration? Under USA justice under the law, freedom of speech and religion, and freedom of the press. So, dear students, those philosophers brought they wanted to spread their democratic ideas, and it has been brought now forward. So, they have succeeded in bringing out the USA justice under law, freedom of speech and religion, and freedom of press. So dear students, I request you to go through this video and understand each word. I have already explained to you the Treaty of Paris and the few words also, ethnic groups, in the beginning, and you have to go here. What is the introduction given here with a monarchical system? The kingdoms were divided or separated, and there were small kings, minor kings, those who were taking care of their own areas, and the new the feeling of oneness, how did it come up among the people, and what how the nationalism was formed into the heart of men of those days. Okay, now the progressive kings encouraging the feelings of nationalism. How did the progressive kings won the loyalty of the people, and who all were the philosophers of 18th century, those who brought the democratic ideas through their writings, and how they succeeded in their ideas about. We also read about increase in the taxes of the in the colonies, and how people rejected, and only the tea tax was remaining. And what is the Boston Tea Party? That also is explained the incidents here. You can go through this. And the Declaration of Independence. Then at the Declaration of Independence, George Washington was appointed as a commander of American forces. And the declaration, USA justice under the law, the declaration was made under the law, justice and freedom of speech and religion and freedom of press. So till here, please go through this video and learn all the main points of this chapter, the growth of nationalism, about the American Revolution. You can say in other words that the war of American independence. Now the American people want to be independent. Now, how did this independence, the declaration were brought forward? So you have to learn, dear students. So all the best, do well.